This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, MOJ staff take a closer look at the issues facing the historic courthouse. Will they save the site? A local MP proposes changes that could improve some employment practices, but they're already being dismissed. And the sea lion credited with returning the species to our shores is immortalised. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. The Ministry of Justice the complex issues it's facing with earthquake strengthening Dunedin's historic courthouse. Staff have toured the iconic local building today, but they're still not fully committing to saving the site.
Stewart Street Courthouse is very quiet nowadays. Another facility is hosting the city's courts, and Ministry of Justice staff say a number of ongoing issues are keeping it that way.
It can't be strengthened easily because it's a Grade 1 listed building. We have to protect the exterior fabric of the building, but tie it together in such a way that it strengthens it for the long term and it becomes a resilient building.
Structural work is needed above the ceilings and below the floors, and the connection between the building's interior and exterior needs to be strengthened. The Ministry of Justice is working with heritage advocates to get the court up to standard in a way that retains its current form.
The big issue is the tower area and the possible drop zone and how that ties into the buildings around it. As you would have noted in your tour, there's high vaulted ceilings and those elements are not always structurally strong.
Ministry staff are developing a business case for work on the courthouse, which should be ready in August. That needs to be accepted before any work is approved. Strengthening the courthouse is expected to cost taxpayers more than $10 million.
Well, as the Minister signalled, it was always our intention to return to the building and to restore what is part of an iconic part. But that process does take time.
So locals frustrated with the lack of progress will have to keep waiting as behind-the-scenes work continues to decide the future of Dunedin's courthouse. David DeLorean, 39 Dunedin News. 3
local designers have received honours in a regional architecture awards ceremony. Brent Alexander, the man behind the redevelopment of Nichols Garden Centre, has been given an award for the building's design. He transformed a rundown diesel workshop into the garden centre and cafe. Julian O'Sullivan has received awards for work on the town hall and an office building. Judges have praised his work as an appropriate, sumptuous revitalisation of the facility. They're celebrating his work on a Ravensdown office as well. And architect Rhys Warnock has received an award for his work on a house built near the city. A Dunedin-based MP says his changes to employment law in unfair business practices. Michael Woodhouse has announced a raft of measures to tackle things like zero-hour contracts, but they're being dismissed by some as window dressing.
Unfair worker contracts could be a thing of the past because of upcoming changes to employment law. Dunedin's Michael Woodhouse is putting forward measures to tackle things like controversial zero-hour contracts. He says arrangements where employees are expected to be available for work with no guaranteed hours are unfair and will soon be against the law.
It won't mean necessarily that there has to be a minimum number of hours, and we're not dispensing with casual agreements. I think they still have an important role to play in New Zealand's employment landscape, but what we are looking for is fairness and flexibility on both sides.
Woodhouse says he's been looking into ongoing issues around contracts. While most bosses don't take advantage of employees, Woodhouse believes a small portion cause problems. He says there are 3 main issues his changes to employment law will tackle.
That was the principle of mutual obligation, the requirement to be on call without any compensation, and the prevention on being able to go and pick up other hours with other organisations. All 3 of those things are going to be fixed.
Dunedin North MP David Clarks told 39 Dunedin News the changes effectively go nowhere. He says zero-hour contracts are still in place under the proposed They're divided on whether the new changes are the solution. David DeLorean, 39, Dunedin News.
Police are looking for those responsible for vandalising several vehicles over the week. And is hoped it will help raise the public profile of the endangered species.
Gather to celebrate an important part of the city's wildlife history. The New Zealand Sea Lion Trust's unveiling a life-size statue depicting a female sea lion dubbed Mum. She's credited with bringing her species back to the mainland of New Zealand. And trustee Neville Peat says it's important to commemorate such a significant sea lion.
The New Zealand Sea Lion Trust has raised the money for this and presented it to the City Council as a gift. And hopefully, people will get the story, because there is an information panel that goes with this sculpture.
The piece is the work of well-known broad-based sculptor Bryn Jones, with the 2-metre-long statue made of polystyrene and a hard finish to withstand the St Clair sea spray, giving it the longevity needed to inform the public for years to come.
About 20 years ago, she re-established her species on the mainland of New Zealand. She was born on the Auckland Islands and came up, migrated onto Otago Peninsula, and then had her pup at Tyree Mouth in 1994.
It's extremely rare for wild animals profile within the city. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin, with the district's first female road policing manager, and an annual festival turns 15 and celebrates with some sweet tasting events.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell menswear, it fits.
Wake up time and another frantic day ahead for Haraway's Oat Singles. With 3 delicious flavours in each pack, they don't last long with this family. They're so convenient and tasty, and they're ready in seconds. Haraway's Oat Singles are the ideal breakfast or snack on the run for today's busy families. And there's a flavour to suit everyone. Beat the rush and make sure you get your favourite flavour. Haraway's Oat Singles. Try new Kiwi Favourites Caramel Variety Pack.
It has no arms, no legs, has a drill in its mouth up to 8 hours a day and still never complains. It's one of 72 mannequin torsos in our new $3.8 million dental simulation lab, the first and only facility of its kind in New Zealand. My name is Nikki Rose Coltolaro, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
Got a hankering to create? Then head on down to Needle and Thread at 441 Princess Street. Needle and Thread is your first choice for a great range of quilting, sewing, knitting, supplies and tuition. With so many options, you will be inspired. Needle and Thread, phone 479-2771.
Hedges are something we almost take for granted. A good hedge needs regular maintenance to look its best and to add value and character to your property. For all your hedge care needs, call the team at SGC Services on 0800 783 453.
moving around the corner. Overseas, Best Removals Otago Limited, specialists in household removals and business relocations.
Welcome back. Unprecedented interest in a city council grant scheme has seen more than $500,000 handed out to local community organisations. Surf Lifesaving New Zealand has received the largest chunk, with the group getting a little over $100,000. The Fortune Theatre Trust and Southern Sinfonia are among the other major benefactors. It's the first the country, and she's here to talk about her new role. Good evening.
Good evening.
Congratulations. Responsibilities as Road Policing Manager?
So my role is to oversee the strategic direction of road policing across our district. As you said, we do have a big area to cover, from the Waitaki River right through to Stewart Island.
Tell us about some of your previous roles.
So before, and worked with youth services, so I worked in the schools, young people, and from there I've also worked in prosecutions and managed frontline response groups as well.
What do you think will be the biggest challenge in this new role?
The biggest challenge for us is around the size of the network, so just making sure that we're well aware of where the problems are and that we're deploying our staff to risk.
What do you hope to achieve in this one?
So my vision as the road policing manager is to have the safest road network in the country. That's what I want to achieve.
What are the biggest problems then on roads?
Well, we're made up of urban roads, and obviously we've got the more rural roads as well. So like every other district in the country, that's the fatal five. So we're looking at speed, high risk drivers, alcohol and drugs, restraints, and also careless dangerous driving.
Is the way that we're addressing those problems now working?
It is working, but there's always room to improve, and that's my project for the next wee while, is to look at ways of changing and improving.
Are the methods of road policing changing?
Yes, they are. We're constantly looking at new ways of road policing. So obviously for us it's all around reducing crashes, looking at ensuring that we have people deployed at the right place at the right time, and also from a technological side as well, looking at bringing in new devices which will help. At the end of this month we're actually rolling out handheld evidential devices across this district, so we're going to be the first district in the country that's going to be using those, which is quite exciting.
Apart from offending, what role does the public play in road policing methods?
Well, look, road policing is everybody's responsibility. You know, at the end of the day, they're out there driving vehicles which, make the wrong move, and people can be injured and die. So, I guess just make sure that you're planning your journeys, that you're not drinking before you're driving. The real simple things are making sure that you put your seatbelt on, and obviously driving within the speed limit as well.
Do you get many calls to the star 444 number?
Yes, we do. It was particularly significant over the Christmas period, because obviously we have more people driving. But that's one way that the public can let us see any bad driving.
What do you love most about your job?
Well, two major things. The first one is it's a way of really making a difference. You know, we have people's lives, so that's a big thing for me. And Probably the second biggest thing for me is the people that I work with. A really great, dedicated group of people, and same thing as me, they're wanting to make a difference.
Well, congratulations on the Tania Barron, Inspector Tania Barron, new Southern Road Policing Manager. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
After the break on 39, what could be a school holiday favourite gets underway, and we'll take a look at the results of the weekend's Premier Club rugby matches.
Do you want support for your breathing? You are not alone. In New Zealand, over 600,000 people have some form of breathing difficulty, especially with the high pollen season in New Zealand. Puff Plus is an excellent natural product developed to support lung function and breathing difficulties. Puff Plus is so effective, you get a no questions asked, money back guarantee on the first purchase. Give it a go, you have nothing to lose. Call now, 0800 502 402. Take as directed. If symptoms persist, see your healthcare professional.
Quality Tailors, the alterations specialists, adjusting alterations made to measure. Quality Tailors, fitting Dunedin for over 15 years. Call 477 8028 162 Princess Street, one shop down from Darling Street.
Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams.
128 tracks, dynamic automation, dual faders, and totally digital. This is state-of-the-art music production. The SSL Digital Console. You'll find one in the BBC studios in London, another at CBS studios in New York, and now one at the University of Otago. It's a good reason why our sound now sounds even better. My name is Maddie Parkins Craig, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
Wake up time and another frantic day ahead for Haraway's oat singles. With 3 delicious flavours in each pack, they don't last long with this family. They're so convenient and tasty, and they're ready in seconds. Haraway's oat singles are the ideal breakfast or snack on the run for today's busy families. And there's a flavour to suit everyone. Beat the rush and make sure you get your favourite flavour. Haraway's oat singles. Try new Kiwi Favourites Caramel Variety Pack.
Got a hankering to create? Then head on down to Needle and Thread at 441 Princess Street. Needle and Thread is your first choice for a great range of quilting, sewing, knitting, supplies and tuition. With so many options, you will be inspired. Needle and Thread, phone 479 2771.
Discover New Zealand's most innovative museum, Toitu Otago Settlers Museum. 14 stunning galleries, 3 distinct architectural styles, and 1 million intriguing stories are yours to discover at Toitu Otago Settlers Museum. Open daily next to Dunedin Railway Station and with free admission. Toitu Otago Settlers Museum.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Welcome back. The city's annual Chocolate Carnival is celebrating its 15th. Tens of thousands of people are expected to attend events over the next week, And it's giving locals who have a sweet tooth ways to have fun with chocolate.
Throwing a chocolate-themed party to celebrate an important milestone. Cadbury's Chocolate Carnival was underway for the 15th year running. And events manager Kylie Rufiu Karawana says the sheer longevity of the festival is amazing.
It's exciting being 15 years, I think. You know, not many cities around New Zealand have a festival like ours, which is about celebrating winter in Dunedin with chocolate or about raising money for charity. So we're really excited about the fact we've been here for 15 years.
Festivities end on Friday when the Jaffa race rolls down Baldwin Street. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
Now, look at the latest results from the local Premier Club rugby competition.
Tari was at home at Peter Johnstone Park, defeating Dunedin 46 points to 8. Meanwhile, Kaikorai had a cool 46-31 win over Pirate. And Southern narrowly claimed victory over Harbour, winning 24-22. Green Island were no match for University A, the victors scoring 9 tries to win 60-17. And Alhambra Union recorded a loss, going down 34-17 to Zingari Richmond. And we'll bring you all the details of next weekend's semi-finals during Friday's bulletin.
And now recapping stories on 39 Dunedin News. The Ministry of Justice has detailed the issues it's facing with Dunedin's historic courthouse, and staff still aren't committing to saving the building. Local MPs are clashing over newly introduced measures designed to tackle employment practices such as zero-hour contracts. And the life of a sea lion credited with resurrecting her species being honoured with a life-size sculpture on the St Clair Esplanade. Well, it's time now to find out what's going to be in Tuesday's Otago Daily Times, and editor Murray Kirkness joins us. Good evening.
Hi, Rebecca.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. And you?
Terrific. Bit cold.
Just a little bit.
Good old mum, the sea lion.
Yeah.
Magnificent.
Good for her.
Yeah, too right. We've got latest on the courthouse also. We went on tour, as you guys did. The DCC's also joined the fight now to try to save the courthouse, as it were. And speaking personally, I think everyone in the south should stand up. I hope we can retain it, but that's enough comment. Back to the news now. The mini ice age, as we're calling it next door, it's starting to thaw. No doubt you'll give us more details shortly, but by crikey it's cold. The bond spill went well in Naseby today. Plumbers flat out in Dunedin fixing burst pipes. So we've got lots of photos and the latest news. We can actually turn the electric blankets down a little bit. Otago Hospice has issued a plea for people not to take a pee in their toilets. Baldwin Street, apparently, they're being overrun with visitors who are just making themselves at home in the hospice. Apparently there's been instances where people have gone into patients' rooms to use the facility, so there's a push on from the hospice people to have some public toilets put in down that part of the world. In travel, we're looking at Portugal. To be so lucky, I guess. Also, a one-on-one on what you should do with your kids if you plan to take them skiing this school holidays. Lots of people, of course, are heading up the hill, so what you should do.
That's all in tomorrow's ODT.
Just cut me off.
Thank you, Murray. Time now for local weather. And around the city, it's 3 o'clock today, 9 degrees for the central city, 8 for the gardens and the Tyree hitting double figures with 10 degrees. To the forecast for the main towns in the lower South Island for tomorrow. It's a return to rain, which will be welcomed by some who are a little bit over the frost and ice. Strong northerlies with rain later in the day for most of these towns, and highs between 10 and 12 degrees. Strong northerlies with rain later in the day for Queenstown and Wanaka. High cloud increasing in Oamaru. Northerly winds there. Bit of rain also for Twizel. In Dunedin tonight, high cloud increasing with an overnight low of 2. Cloudy tomorrow with rain spreading off the western ranges. Gusty northerlies will become strong, going for 10 degrees. And on Wednesday, showers clearing, sunny periods increasing, and northwest winds with a high of 13. To the southern clams tide. Information, high tide tomorrow afternoon is at 2:30. Low tide follows around 9:30. And fishing is pretty good tomorrow. The best time is at around 11 o'clock in the morning. And that's local news for Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Men.
Welcome to Southern Attractions. Over the next half hour, we'll take you on a virtual tour of the historic city of Dunedin and its magnificent wild landscapes. We'll introduce you to many of the features that make this place so welcoming to visitors. And we hope the show will help you decide how to enjoy our city's many attractions and inform you more about Dunedin and Otago. At 46 degrees south, about halfway between the equator and the South Pole, sits Dunedin, also known as the Edinburgh of the South, or colloquially as Dunners, and the Maori name is Ōtepoti. It's the second largest city in the South Island of New Zealand and the principal city of the Otago region. It's considered to be one of the 4 main urban centres of New Zealand for historic, cultural and geographic reasons. The Dunedin urban area lies